Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing this Tengu Transmuter of Rue for the Crawl 0.18 release tournament. I took a little break there for lunch and to actually upload the last two episodes, so, you could watch them. I assume if you've gotten to this one, you've already watched the others, right? So it's sort of like, I don't know exactly how useful it is for me to say, hey, the other episodes are up now. But, I don't know, I guess... I don't know. Yeah, that's okay. It's a thing that happened. I uploaded some episodes, and if you're watching this, you already knew that. These dang yaks. At least I've got like stairs now. I can stair dance them a bit. There's kind of too many though. I'm not sure what the deal is now. What am I supposed to do with all this crap? Let's go downstairs. Yeah, I think 2 yaks. We can pull 2 yaks up to like here, say. Get back into spider form, and then corridor kill them. Alright, good. How are we doing for skills? These still look fine. I kind of want ice form. Like, that's pretty good in lair, because there's a lot of stuff that resists poison, so spider form is less useful. But, like, gosh, I mean, how am I going to get that castable? Right? Like, I guess, just by starting. Let's memorize ice form. Yeah, I really need it. Let's take a brief moment here to go edit my RC, search for spider, spell slot for ice form I for C, I guess, if I don't have I for some reason. Maybe I want it on C. Let's put it on F. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I'm trying to get into the habit of whenever I assign a spell manually to go edit my RC so that it makes a reasonable choice automatically next time. Something I'd really like to add, but I don't know how, is to automate that so that if you assign a spell in-game, it can say, hey, would you like me to put that on your list of, like, things for that spell? I don't know how... it's kind of hard. I'm not sure how you would do that. Like, as far as I know, there's nothing currently existing that edits your RC file in-game, so that's an issue. There's a number of things that make that feature I would like be harder than I would like it to be. Oh, I forgot to switch train ice and transmutations. No thanks. Anyway, there's a number of things that make that like a difficult feature to add, and I don't know if I ever can or will add it. Yeah, now this Komodo Dragon is a problem already. I don't know. I'm actually really pleased that we got some distance from him somehow. I guess just energy randomization. Let's fly. Nice. Can he swim fast? Oh, he swims extra fast. Dragging him through water is not the best thing I've ever done with my life. Let's make a snake. That should buy us a little bit of time. There we go. Got him. Another snake. Spider? No. Whoa, I accidentally hit the wrong button and walked in there and attacked him like an idiot. Oh, but he got poisoned to death. Great. Ugh, Lair. Lair is so bad. Actually, standing right here is a lot worse than I realized for fighting an eel, because he's got the bounce on me like this. So maybe I'll just leave this eel alone. Lair! Everything in Lair is terrifying. Oh, the eel died somehow? What? Oh, poison, I guess. Like river rats, great. I can handle river rats. It's like the one thing in Lair that is not a problem. Here's some free experience for me, which is great, because most of Lair is not free. I might actually abandon Lair and go looking for Orc or something, because everything in Orc is susceptible to poison. And that would give me time to get Ice Form up, maybe. Tengu have a pretty bad Transmutations aptitude, which now is finally becoming an issue. When it was just like, oh, you know, get Spider Form online and train unarmed combat, the Tengu unarmed combat aptitude was sufficient. Yeah, this is terrible. Fly. Where are the stairs? Let's leave Lair. I quit. I don't know. This character... This character does not really seem... It feels like I've built it wrong. What is this? A Merfolk Scald? Shroud. So we can just run away from this. No problem there. I don't know, but anyway, it seems like I've... Let's fly away. You can get to, like... What was this scroll? Oh, these are junk scrolls, right? Yeah. You can wind up, like, getting to a point where you die for strategic reasons rather than tactical reasons, right? If you've made choices with your character that mean that you're just way too weak for the stuff you need to fight, and like you could have done better but didn't, then you sort of eventually die for strategic reasons. I feel like most of the time I know how to skill a character, and I thought I knew how to skill a Tengu Transmuter as well. It doesn't seem that complicated, but I'm now starting to wonder, like, have I just painted myself into a corner? Have I put too much into fighting unarmed combat and dodging, which seems like great survival and damage skills, but like I really need Ice Form up pretty soon, and the Tengu aptitudes mean that it's going to be a long time before I can get it, and that might just make Lair very hard, and that would be a skilling error, I think. I hope I can... I hope I can get away with it by, like, using Spider Form in Orc, but I'm not, like, super strong for Orc either. I think we want to deal with this guy with extra tools. An Orc Warrior is quite a problem. Right, now that we've got him confused, we go and spider him to death. Okay, good. But like, if we have to use wands against a random Orc Warrior, are we really going to be able to cut it in Orc? Which I suspect is just around the corner. Alright, that wand is empty. Let's fly away. And try our other wand of confusion. Oh, we have 3 of these. That's nice. So we could train evocations. Would be another thing we could do to make these wands more effective. But I don't know. That's not really going to help much in Lair. Is it? Yeah, I don't have any wands that are going to help much with Hydras. I have a bunch of hexing wands, which they resist pretty easily, and Flame, which doesn't do enough damage to bother them. Yeah, so that is the entrance to Orc down there. So I think I'm going to try to use Orc to get Ice Form online is my plan. And then use that to make Lair palatable. Oh, apparently he... Yeah, right, he had a Potion of Cure, or Heal Wounds or something. I was thinking that we had discovered a new potion by watching him drink it, but I think we already knew it. Oh, a Centaur. Let's leave him alone. So we can, like, handle Ice Beasts now. Barely. Yaks. Like, all these things, one at a time, we're okay with. And we have a kill hole, or a corridor at least, here that we can use pretty well to actually be one-on-one. So this is actually a pretty good spot, I think. Even though, like, they were doing damage. If there were a bunch more of them, like, we couldn't handle an unlimited number of Yaks, even in a corridor. But that number was okay. Let's explore a new ring. Great. Sustain attributes. Lame. Sky Beast should be okay. We have plenty of arrows now. We can use them pretty freely. It's actually more about conserving MP than about conserving arrows at this point. Great. I'm out of. Oh, good. So Ice Form is like castable. It's not ideal, but it's workable. I mean, it's red, which is scary because, like, I mean, something bad could happen if we cast it. Like, we could deal ice damage to ourselves or something. But for a transmuter, like 30s is okay for a spell that you need pretty often. For most other, you know, for a conjurer, that would be atrocious because you have to kind of spam that spell pretty often. But for a transmuter, it's fine. Let's get going over here. What's the best way over there? I kind of wish you could, like, ask auto travel, hey, if there weren't a monster chasing me, which way would I go to get to this place? But you can't. Okay, here we are in Orc. We gotta be careful. What is this? There's just could easily be a lot of bad stuff in Orc. Hey, thanks, Rue. These are all interesting. So sacrifice an eye is like wearing an amulet of inaccuracy permanently. Kind of a problem. Sacrifice a hand is one of the best Rue sacrifices, really. It gives you a ton of piety all at once in exchange for only getting one ring and only getting one hand, right? But as a transmuter who's going to be unarmed, and often, in fact, going to be in a form, like, you're still like a one-handed Ice Beast, I guess? What? If you're a Hydra, are you like 7 instead of 8-headed? I don't know. It's interesting. So a hand is reasonable as a choice. Like, we're early enough that we really still want some Rue piety. And look at this. We would get 3 whole stars, which would be great. So that's a strong competitor. What about an eye? Eye is modest. It used to be actually a much larger sack when it was like 2 amulets of inaccuracy. So I guess we're not going to do that. We need more piety than that. And getting up to 5 stars of Rue would be really great, because Apocalypse is, like, amazing. It'll help us with a lot of situations that would otherwise be a big problem. Yeah, so I think we're going to take that. Let's just sack a hand. Yeah, here you go, Rue. Have my hand. So we picked up all 3 of Rue's active abilities at once. Now I have to choose which ring I'm wearing, and I think it's going to be this one. Strength over Stealth. And so we picked up Draw Out Power, which is free, except... So all of Rue's actives cost Exhaustion, which is like the Berserk things. You can only use it every so often. Actually, I just remembered, my very first video on this channel was Rue, right? Demon Spawn Enchanter of Rue. Anyway, so it's free, and it restores health and magic, and fixes bad stuff like, I don't know, status effects like being confused or whatever. Yeah, I mean, nets, webs, constriction, petrification, slowness, and confusion. So Power Leap doesn't cost any drain, but it costs some magic, and it's like a very small... So it's like a controlled blink up to 3 squares away, and when you land, it does damage. But that's like a trick. The damage when you land is a trap, is my opinion, because it encourages you to use it to deal damage, when what it really is like the best escapes ability in the world. There's the priest. Kill the priest, please. Why am I confused? There's an orc wizard nearby. I did not realize that. Where is he? I don't see him. I don't even see a disturbance where he is. Hello? There he is. Yeah, alright, we got him. Anyway, I killed a vampire monk, I think it was, of Rue. One of my first Rue worshippers. Because I used my Power Leap to get closer to enemies, because I wanted to do some damage to them, and then it was like, oh, now I'm gonna die, and I'm exhausted, so I can't get out. Whoops. I was constricted or something, and Power Leap guaranteed gets you out of constriction, which, for example, if you're in Snake, which I was, is pretty good. And you don't want to be caught exhausted in a situation where you badly need your exhaustion time and stuff, right? You want to save that for situations where the emergency... It's an emergency tool, right? So, like any emergency tool, you should use it in an emergency. You shouldn't say to yourself, oh, this is too good, I'll save it for later. This is actually kind of bad. I think I'm going to fly away. Right, like I was saying, you should use it in an emergency, but you also want to make sure not to use it when it's not an emergency, because then you'll lose access to it, right? So it's a trade-off. And it's one that it's easy to get wrong sometimes. But I learned a few Rue playthroughs ago, I used to think... Okay, so when I originally played Rue, the first couple games, I was like, okay, Rue is the god of Apocalypse. You get Apocalypse, which just like kills everything on screen. I mean, it's not like its effect, but it does so much damage that most stuff on screen will usually die. And like that's a very strong ability, and that's what Rue is all about, I thought. And then I played a little more, and I talked to some people, and I was like, wait a minute, Power Leap is pretty insane, right? It's an attack, or it's an escape ability that like works 100% of the time, and it's like controlled blink. It gets you like to exactly the square you want to be. That's pretty good. And then, like, I don't know, another Rue game or two later, I realized, hey, draw out power is, like, pretty good, too. You can use it to really sustain a lot longer in fights. Right, a fight that you just don't quite have the stamina to, like, get through without Rue's help. Oh, hello, a sorcerer. You can use draw out power to like gain effectively a bunch of HP and MP, like, and then you can make it through the fight. Or in like emergencies when you need to cast a spell to escape, but you like don't have any MP, you can use that. Like there's a whole bunch of things you can do with it. Do I want any of this stuff? Venomations has spider form, but we already have it. Book of the Earth, we can't cast any of those spells anyway. Repel missiles, like I would like eventually. I guess I'll put it on the list. Handbook of the Birds, not that exciting. Book of Necromancy has regen in it, so like let's put that on the list. Book of Transfigurations has like the high level transmutation spells. We can't use high statue form, but we could learn Hydra or Dragon form. So that's something that Transmuter is always happy to see. Let's put that on the list as well. But in the meantime, there's this Orc Sorcerer who is a big issue. And you know what? Ice form is castable. Let's get out of here. I think we have overstayed our welcome in Orc. As soon as you run into Orc Sorcerers and stuff, like, I don't know. Oh, look, more Orc Sorcerers. That one's asleep, but we still could easily get wrecked if we tried to attack him. He could just wake up and, you know, hit us with some heavy drain or whatever. Paralyze us and then kill us. You know, there's a lot of stuff an Orc Sorcerer can do to you. So we're just going to leave. Get back to Lair now that we have Ice Form. That should be... I mean, Ice Form is sort of the best form you have for dealing with Hydras, but as I often say, you know, the best thing you can do against a Hydra is walk away on most characters. Ice Form is more, from my point of view, on this character, about like Water Moccasins and Black Mambas. Something that has poison resistance, deals cold damage, which they hate. I'm aware, by the way, this is not the stairs to Lair. I'm going to try and do Dungeon 10 first. You know, you resist what they do, and they don't resist what you do. In fact, they're vulnerable to it. Like, it's just quite good against poison snakes. Let's try Ice Form out. Cool. I think we still want to train a little bit more on that, especially since our skills are close to hitting, like, going up from 6.x to 7, and, like, going up from 4.x to 5. I believe there are, like, breakpoints at every half level of spell school. I'm not sure, but I think that's the case. So, like, now, both of these just went up a level, so it's going to be quite a while before they go up another half level, so let's, like, turn them off now. But yeah, like, Ice Form's 21. That's, like, quite tolerable. Let's try it out on this troll, even though what I really ought to do, I think, is run away. Oh. See ya, troll. Alright, that's fine. The game is reminding me what I should have done to begin with, which is, like, not fight a troll. I appreciate it. Oh, all right. There's our troll again. Let's just fly away. And we can take a howler monkey with us, no problem. Orc warrior. Oh, he's agile. Interesting. He has a potion of agility, but that will do him no good. He actually had 2. Wow. Let's just switch to Ice Storm before we go down. You never know. I mean, we could... We have a Ring of Fire, interesting, which could be like... Oh, Josephine. Whoops. I don't really like that very much. We could actually Apocalypse this. On the other hand, we could also just like run away. That's like right. Apocalypse is for solving problems, and right now we don't exactly have a problem, except that there's some experience here that I'd like to get and that I can't really. So I don't know. Do we use an Apocalypse here? It's probably fine. Let's go for it. Apocalypse! We paralyzed Josephine, and now we're just going to walk over there and beat her to death. Nice. Thanks, Rue. Thanks, Rue. The other thing is Apocalypse costs 8 MP, so I need to remember to like have that available. If I'm going to need an Apocalypse, I need to have some MP available. All right, let's just fly away. There's too many orcs and we're low on MP. All right. Now that the Orc Warrior's not here, I don't mind fighting him. Ah! Bunch of Orc Priests, though. A little scary. Let's fly, go downstairs. So we're drained, of course, because of Rue Apocalypse. But we actually gained almost all of our drain back already. I'm not sure how we got it quite so quickly. These orcs shouldn't really be giving me enough experience to undrain by much, but apparently they are. All right, is there a good corridor we could use? Not really, so I guess we'll Stair Dance this. And also take it in small chunks. And here we go, and we're gonna use, I think Spider Form is probably better here. Yaks don't like poison particularly much. Fly, spider, yeah, the old flying spider attack. And get the other one, great, okay. I don't rely on Stair Dancing as much as some players, and I don't say that like to imply that that's a bad thing to do or that I'm like a better player because I don't do it. I think I don't do it enough. I just like sort of worry about getting cornered or like, I don't know, when you lose track of enemies because you switch floors, they sort of can go to a place that would be bad for you. Ring of Ice, huh? Yeah, no thanks. If I need cold resistance, I'll just be a freaking ice beast, thanks. And I don't need the spell enhancer for it for sure. Anyway, so I think like let's not be a spider right now. There we go. Ice Form's way better for scorpions. Anyway, I think that I missed some opportunities where Stair Dancing is like the best approach, and that I forget I can do it because I don't do it often enough. Like for those yaks, I was looking around for a corridor, and I didn't find one, and so I almost thought like, oh, I just gotta run away. but they were split up enough that we could easily stair dance them one at a time, and that's like... The other thing about stair dancing is the monsters get several turns to attack you as you go like up and down stairs. And like when you come back downstairs, you might find yourself surrounded. So like it's kind of dangerous for sure. I don't want to mess with the Hill Giant. Neither Spider form nor Ice form really makes me comfortable with fighting him. The other thing is we could actually learn Blade Hands if we had another spell level. I don't want to spend any XP on a spell level, and Blade Hands would need a little bit more XP for me to really consider using it regularly also. But when we hit level 12, I'll pick it up for sure. There are definitely some threats where... Whoa! No kidding. That's real scary. Oh, look! It says Ice Fist. Normally it says Ice Fists, but I only have one hand. That's pretty cool. So this War Gargoyle, do they have stone splinters or whatever it is? Metal splinters? Yeah. If we try to fight this guy, I think we will be murdered. I'm honestly not sure Apocalypse would solve the problem. Well, how much HP versus 8 armor do they have? I'm not really sure. Let's just go look that up real quick. War Gargoyle. Oh, I sent that to the wrong bot. Try again. War Gargoyle has 44 to 59 HP and 22 armor. Okay. So I don't know exactly how much damage Apocalypse does, but I think it would probably kill this guy. The question is just if it's worth using an Apocalypse on him when we could just run away. And I don't know the answer to that question, really. The other question is, could we in fact just run away? Like, right now we're in ice form, which means we can't... Oh, we can start flying, but not when you're a spider. Only when you're an ice beast. I don't know. It seems weird. Let's close this door. There's a scorpion there as well. All right, let's fly. And let's try to get away. All right, that didn't work at all. I think we need to Apocalypse here. All right, we did kill him. Great. Thanks again, Rue. And let's try to get out this way. Get to an upstair. So we're pretty badly drained right now. You know, one and a bit levels. But we took out a big threat on this floor, and like there hopefully won't be another. I don't know. So like water moccasins are one of the things in Lair that we were afraid of earlier, and now with ice form, not much of a problem. Yeah, see, I wouldn't want to do that to a Hydra, but to a troll, that's not so bad. Ice form, I think, is... Ooh, really? That's scary. What is with all this stuff on Dungeon 10? This is nasty. A War Gargoyle? Honestly, I'm surprised that a Tengu Conjurer is not also in red. What spells does a Tengu Conjurer have? Who knows, man? A lot of options. So he could have Throw Flame, but he can't have Bolt of Fire. He could have Bolt of Magma, which, holy cow, if we were an Ice Beast, that would do a lot of damage to us, I think. Likewise, if we were a Spider, Venom Bolt could do an awful lot of damage. Of course, Apocalypse, always an option. And I think I would not be at all surprised if we needed to Apocalypse this guy, because he's another Tengu like us, so he flies as fast as we do. So he couldn't really make any distance. It would take us like 6 moves well, if he never attacked us, we could never get out of his line of sight. But every time he attacks us, he gives up 1 turn, basically. And so, like, if he chose to attack us 6 times, we would be out of line of sight. Maybe the number is 5, I'm not sure, but something like that. And I don't know if I can survive 5 or 6 spells from this guy. Plus, I'd have to start flying right now. Like, he's a mature Tengu, so he's flying all the time. And we are not yet that mature, so it costs us like a turn to start flying, which makes matters worse. So I think we should fight him. It's just a matter of how. What else do I have in my inventory? I don't think these wands are going to work very well at 0 Evo. Let's just check. Oh, not bad, actually. Interesting. If he were confused, he would be no trouble at all. So that's one option. We have a couple potions of healing, but not much. One of these unidentified potions, is probably curing. So that's something. The other thing is, Amulet of Dismissal could come in to save us at some point. So I think what I'm going to do is try to hit him with Confusion. Okay, we got him. Nice. Now let's go to Spider Form, which I think is going to be the best way to do damage to him. Okay, great. Oh, I was about to say, because I looked last turn I was in Spider Form, and I was like, wait, can I start flying? And I hit A, and it's like, yeah, you can. But that's because in between those 2 turns, I stopped being a spider. Anti-magic war axe, alright. That's fine. Hey, no confusion, that's mean. We got him. I could go for an orc or something, like an orc sandwich maybe. Hill Giant, let's just leave. I still do not feel capable of fighting a Hill Giant. Let's go ahead and declare victory on this floor and go up to Lair. But I think that this is the episode. The episode in which we entered Lair, ran away, and then did a bit of orc, and then a bit of dungeon, and now are going back into Lair. So we're at the same place as where we started the previous video. Or where we started this video, we'll be starting the next one. But we've advanced quite a bit. We have ice form now. Although, because I'm drained, it's not very castable, is it? Yikes. Not as castable. Oops, wrong button. This is the one I wanted. Yeah. Let's go ahead and train these up a little bit more so that they're still useful if we get drained, which we will. Okay, but that's all going to be in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.